Big, very sad, final news. Anna Duggar looks unrecognizable in a rare family outing. A shocking transformation that has the world talking, and asking one heartbreaking question: what really happens behind closed doors when an empire of faith, family, and fame comes crashing down? This isn't just a gossip headline. This is a document of survival. This is the story of a woman living in the aftermath of a national scandal that shattered her entire world. Her changing face tells a story words cannot. And tonight, we're going deep. But first, if you're new to this channel, you need to understand the magnitude of what we're discussing. This is a saga that spans over a decade, a cultural phenomenon, a reality TV dynasty, and a legal earthquake that sent shockwaves through America. So hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell, because we don't just skim the headlines here, we dissect the story layer by layer. And trust me, by the end of this, you'll see this unrecognizable photo in a light you never expected. The image in question is grainy, taken from a distance. A woman, Anna Duggar, is with her children. The headlines scream, haggard, broken, a shadow of her former self. The internet, with its relentless cruelty and fleeting pity, comments on her weight, her posture, her clothing, the tiredness in her eyes. They compare her to the bright-eyed, smiling young woman who stood beside her husband, Josh Duggar, on their wedding day, a day broadcast to millions as a symbol of pure, virtuous love. The transformation is shocking. But the reason for it is where the real story lies. To understand Anna Duggar in this single, captured moment, we must rewind. We must go back to the beginning of 19 kids and counting. The Duggar family presented an almost mythical ideal, a sprawling, cheerful clan governed by strict religious principles, modesty, courtship, submission, and the blessing of children. Anna, entering this family, was the perfect addition. She believed in the same principles. She was soft-spoken, devout, and saw her role as a helpmeet, a supportive wife, and a mother. Her identity was woven into the fabric of the Duggar brand. She wasn't just Anna, she was Josh's wife, the mother of the Duggar grandchildren, a supporting character in the TLC spectacle. Then, the cracks began to show. Not small cracks, but chasms. The first scandal broke in 2015. Josh Duggar had admitted to molesting several young girls, including some of his sisters, as a teenager. The world recoiled. The show was cancelled. The Duggar fortress was breached. And where was Anna? Standing beside him. Releasing a statement about forgiveness and moving forward. In that moment, the public's perception of Anna split. Was she a victim, trapped in a system she couldn't escape? Or was she an enabler, choosing blind loyalty over justice? Her face then was strained, but composed. A mask of pious resilience. But the earthquake was yet to come. In April 2021, federal agents arrested Josh Duggar. The charges? Receiving and possessing child sexual abuse material. The details of the case were grotesque, horrifying, painting a picture of a man with a depravity that was unimaginable. This wasn't a past, confessed teenage mistake. This was a present, active, and monstrous crime. In December 2021, he was found guilty on all counts. He was sentenced to over 12 years in federal prison. And through it all, through the trial where explicit evidence was discussed, through the tearful testimonies of his sisters, through the verdict, through the sentencing, Anna Duggar remained. She attended the trial. She was present. She did not leave. This is the crucible in which the unrecognizable Anna has been forged. Let's dissect that photo, not with judgment, but with forensic empathy. The tired eyes? Imagine the sleepless nights, not just with 7 children, but with the weight of a nation's gaze, the shame of a husband's infamy, the isolation from a world that cannot understand her choice. The weight change? Consider the stress, the unimaginable pressure, the possible comfort sought in food, or simply the metabolic toll of chronic, sustained trauma. The posture? She is often seen shepherding her children, a shield, a constant protector. Her body is perpetually in a state of defensive readiness. But here's what the clickbait headlines deliberately ignore: the children beside her. In that rare outing, she is not alone. She is managing, caring, providing a semblance of normalcy for them. While the world debates her appearance, she is packing lunches, tying shoes, and trying to answer impossible questions from her kids about their father. Her unrecognizable face is the face of a single mother of 7, carrying a burden of notoriety that none of us can comprehend. It is the face of a woman whose entire belief system, life plan, and source of community has been catastrophically inverted, while she must still show up for bedtime stories and homeschool lessons. Her transformation is not from beauty to decay. It is from a scripted character to a raw, unscripted human being. The Anna on the wedding special was a performance. The Anna in this grainy photo is devastatingly real. Every line speaks of a hard choice she has made, a choice to stay, rooted in a faith that commands forgiveness and covenant-keeping. Whether you agree with that choice is irrelevant to understanding its cost. The cost is etched on her features. And what of the future? Josh Duggar's appeals are underway, but his release is over a decade away. Anna is now the sole navigator of this shipwrecked family. The Duggar family itself is fractured, with siblings publicly distancing themselves, offering support to Anna and the kids, but the unified front is gone. The TLC money is gone. The brand is toxic. Anna's income sources are murky, perhaps support from her own family, from the Duggar parents, maybe small ventures. But financial pressure is undoubtedly another layer of this hell. The documentary story of Anna Duggar is ongoing. It is a live case study in trauma, cognitive dissonance, survival, and the extreme interpretation of religious duty. It raises uncomfortable questions about the systems that create women like Anna, systems that prioritize submission, discourage higher education or independent thought, and teach that a woman's worth is inextricably linked to her husband, no matter how fallen he may be. When you see that shocking photo, you are not looking at a woman who simply let herself go. You are looking at a geological record of seismic events. You are looking at the physical manifestation of public humiliation, private agony, and unwavering, perhaps to many, unfathomable, conviction. This story is not about a makeover. It's about a dismantling. And it is not over. So, what happens next? The cameras are mostly gone, but the world remains obsessed. Every grocery store trip, every church outing, every rare public appearance of Anna and her children is scrutinized. Will the strain become too much? Will her faith evolve or harden? How will she guide her children, especially her sons, in the shadow of their father's crimes? The story continues to unfold in real time. And that's why we need to follow it, not with the hunger of tabloid consumers, but with the sober reflection of documentarians observing a unique, tragic piece of modern American culture. Anna Duggar's face is a map. And we've only just begun to learn how to read it. This is a story with no easy answers, no satisfying endings, and no clear heroes or villains, only complex humans and devastating consequences. It's a story that will continue for years, likely decades, as those children grow up and tell their own stories. If you want to follow this ongoing saga with us, to analyze the next chapter with nuance and depth, then you need to be part of this community. We break down the developments, the history, and the cultural impact without sensationalism. So do this right now, hit the like button if you want more deep dive documentaries like this. And most importantly, click subscribe. We are just getting started on this journey, and the next update could break at any moment. You don't want to miss our analysis. Because when the next headline drops, when the next unrecognizable photo surfaces, you'll be armed with the full story. You'll understand the years of context that led to that single frame. You won't just see a face, you'll see a history. And this history is still being written. What if the picture-perfect marriage you saw on television was hiding a darkness so profound it would shock the nation? What happens when the family values preacher becomes the scandal's central figure? Welcome back, friends. Today, we're pulling back the curtain on one of reality TV's most shocking and enduring stories, the complex, controversial, and heartbreaking relationship timeline of Josh and Anna Duggar. This is a tale that spans from a pure, chaperoned courtship to federal courtrooms, a story of public betrayal and private agony. Strap in, because this documentary-style deep dive will connect dots you never saw coming, and the full story is still being written. Don't go anywhere. Our story begins not with drama, but with dogma. In 2006, at a homeschooling convention, Josh Duggar, the eldest son of the famous Duggar clan from TLC's 19 Kids and Counting, met Anna Keller. Their courtship was a model of their conservative Christian principles, chaperoned, intentional, and focused on marriage from day one. It was a fairy tale presented to millions of viewers. Josh proposed on Anna's 20th birthday in June 2008, and by September, they were married in a ceremony that felt like a national event. The early years seemed to follow the script. Their family grew rapidly, Mackenzie in 2009, Michael in 2011, Marcus in 2013. They were a pillar of the Duggar brand. But behind this curated image, a catastrophic secret was already festering. Unknown to the public and, allegedly, to Anna at the time, Josh had a hidden past. In 2015, a police report was revealed showing that as a teenager, Josh had been investigated for molesting 5 underage girls, several of whom were his sisters. The scandal erupted, forcing a tearful public interview and leading to the swift cancellation of 19 Kids and Counting. For Anna, this was her first public earthquake. She stood by her husband, framing it as a past mistake dealt with through faith and forgiveness. The family retreated, but the foundation was irreparably cracked. Just as that storm seemed to settle, a second, more personal tsunami hit. In August 2015, the infamous Ashley Madison data leak exposed Josh Duggar as a subscriber to the infidelity-focused website. This wasn't a teenage error, this was a present-day, active betrayal. Josh released a staggering statement: "I have been the biggest hypocrite ever. I have secretly over the last several years been viewing pornography on the internet, and this became a secret addiction, and I became unfaithful to my wife." The man who preached family values was living a devastating double life. Anna's pain this time was palpable and public. In a later interview, she called it such a betrayal, not just against her, but against those who call themselves Christian. The humiliation was national. Josh entered a 6-month rehab program for his pornography addiction. In a show of almost unimaginable fortitude, or, as critics argued, indoctrination, Anna visited him there and publicly forgave him. By 2016, they announced they were in marriage counseling, working on healing one day at a time. They welcomed another child, Mason, in 2017. To outsiders, it appeared to be a rocky, but ongoing, path to redemption. Then came April 2021. In a cruel twist of timing, Anna joyfully announced on Instagram that they were expecting their 7th child, a baby girl. The post showed them under an umbrella raining pink confetti. Just 5 days later, the illusion was obliterated. Josh Duggar was arrested by federal agents. The charges were unthinkable: receiving and possessing child sexual abuse material. Court documents alleged he had downloaded material depicting the abuse of children under the age of 12. The trial that November was a media circus. Anna was present every day, a silent figure entering and exiting the courthouse beside her husband. The evidence was technical and damning. In December 2021, the jury found Josh guilty on both counts. The judge later sentenced him to 151 months, roughly 12.5 years, in federal prison. Through it all, Anna remained. She gave birth to their 7th child, Madison Lily, just weeks after the guilty verdict. This is where the true documentary mystery begins. The facts of the timeline are clear, but the why behind Anna's steadfast loyalty is the subject of intense debate. The faith lens, from her perspective, rooted in an ultra-conservative ideology: marriage is a covenant before God, for better or for worse. Divorce is often not an option. Her public statements consistently frame their journey through the lens of forgiveness, prayer, and beauty from ashes. The practical trap: with 7 young children and no independent career, her financial and logistical reality is incredibly daunting. The family structure she is part of is her entire support system. The psychological cycle: experts might point to patterns of trauma bonding, where intense periods of pain are intermittently reinforced by promises of change and repentance, creating a powerful, addictive cycle that is hard to break. Her sister-in-law, Jing'er, perhaps summed up the unique horror of their public life. It makes it more challenging because then it's not just dealing with these things inwardly, but you have to give an answer to the world. Anna has had to live her deepest trauma and most controversial decisions on the world stage. So, where does this leave us? The official timeline has a brutal punctuation mark. Josh is incarcerated until at least 2032. But the story is far from over. What is daily life like for Anna and her 7 children now? How are the Duggar siblings navigating this ongoing fallout? What happens when Josh is eventually released? Most pressingly, what do you think? This is where you become part of the documentary. I want to hear your reasoned, respectful analysis in the comments below. Do you see Anna's stance as incredible strength or tragic enablement? How does the pressure of a reality TV persona distort personal crises? Let's have a real discussion. Before you do that, I need you to take 2 simple actions that truly help this channel. First, if this deep dive analysis provided value, if it connected the pieces in a way that made you think, then hit the like button. That single click tells YouTube's algorithm that this is meaningful content, helping us reach more people who appreciate documentary-style storytelling. More importantly, subscribe to the channel. You see, the Josh and Anna Duggar timeline is just one of many tangled, real-life stories we're committed to exploring with depth and nuance. We have deep dives planned on other infamous family sagas, shocking falls from grace, and the complex psychology behind the headlines. By subscribing, you're not just getting notifications, you're joining a community that values looking beyond the clickbait to understand the real human stories. Tap that subscribe button and the bell icon so you don't miss a single update. And finally, the journey continues right now. The Duggar family saga is interconnected. To fully understand the environment Josh and Anna came from, you need to watch our next video, which is already queued up on screen, The Duggar Dynasty, How TLC Built and Buried America's Favorite Megafamily. It's the essential prequel to everything we discussed today. Click right here or find the link in the description to keep the story going. Thank you for watching, for thinking critically, and for being part of this community. I'm your host, and I'll see you in the next deep dive. Remember to leave your thoughts below.